Hey everyone, Sophia here from MyGreatChallenge.blogspot.com. Welcome to day 4 in my bathroom makeover. Big change of plan. Today I have decided that I'm re-grouting the inside of the tub. Alright, so where I left you off in the last video, I had decided that I was gonna do this polyblend grout renew, which is basically a paint sealant that you put over the old grout. It would have been a great idea, except that they really don't have longevity, and the guy that was here before us when we purchased the house had re-grouted this with a gray grout. So some of the gray grout is still there, and some of the old white grout is also still there. This part of the gray that peeled off, so I do have little grooves and things like this. I'm not happy with it. I just want to do a good job, and the only way to do a good job that's gonna last long is just to do it right. So we're re-grouting today, basically. So the first step in re-grouting is to remove the old grout. So you get this little tool right here. I'm hoping you can see that. It's kind of like a blade with grooves, and it makes a lot of noise. So basically what you do is take this thing right here and you go inside the grooves. Now, I'm sorry about the noise, but I gotta show you how this works. And you just scrape off. Now you see the old white is coming out and the gray is still there. So I'm gonna try to give you a close-up. And you just basically scrape off the grout. You wanna make a nice groove so the new one can go in. Now, if I really wanted to be ambitious, I would remove all of it and really scrape, but that's not what I'm gonna do today. So let me show you how that works. So you see that I have the white here, and this is the gray that he had put over. See that? Okay, it's gone. So there's like an edge here on the side and another one here, so you can get the parts of the tile that are raised on either side. So you just basically keep going. Right? You get the idea, and you remove as much grout as possible. Step 2 in the project is going to be the application of the new grout. So this one is bright white, which is what I wanted. This is Simple Grout Premix Grout, ready to use, no mixing, no mess, stain resistant, no shrinking, for joints that are 1/16 to a half. So that's what I'm going to use. And the reason why I think this is a better solution is because the bottom part right here needs to be re-grouted anyway before I apply the caulk. So I did buy the caulk. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that today because this project here is going to take quite some time. I'm probably going to just do that in this video. And of course it's got to be dry, and then you got to buff out the grout that you just installed. So yeah, I'm going to be here for quite some time. And ideally what I want is a uniform look that is basically all bright white. That's it. That's all I want. I want this to be looking brand new. So yeah, so I'm gonna put the camera on the tripod. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm not gonna show you the whole process because, you know, I mean, really, how many times are you gonna see me go up and down? I am putting a towel at the bottom of my tub, only because when the grout falls down, I don't want to be stepping on it and scratching my tub any more than it is scratched right now. I'm not sure. I may eventually re-enamel the tub. I'm not sure. Only because I don't like those stains in the corner that you saw yesterday in the last video, and I just can't get rid of the rust and it bothers me. So yeah, that's what's going on. So today I'm just re-grouting. All right, so let's get started. And by the way, yesterday when I left you off, we were going to go see Spectre, and I gotta let you know, this was awesome. I really like it. Everybody in the family loved it. Love James Bond. Rescue fantasies. Love James Bond. Alright, this is a very mind-numbing activity, so I'm just gonna get lost in my thoughts as I'm doing this, not thinking about anything else but, you know, things I gotta do and my schedule, what I'm making for dinner, whatever, because this is like a no-brainer. You just basically scrape it off.
Dumb on you.
It's hard, huh?
Yep.
Come on, put some pressure on it. No, I still see great.
Yeah.
Come on, my arm is getting tired. I need help.
Done.
No, not done. Still great. What you want to do is create a new groove so the new grout can go in. Keep your blade flat. Come on, put some pressure. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Keep going. Done. And now I gotta vacuum everything. It looks wider, you can tell. There's some areas where the original grout was gray. At some point he put white over it and then he put gray over it again. So I don't know, it looks like it's not all that clean in that area over there, but I did scrape it and did all around the soap dish here. So I gotta vacuum, make sure I don't have any powder anywhere, especially along the edges, and I gotta vacuum the wall. And before I grout everything, I gotta take a damp sponge and just sponge off the whole area to make sure I don't have any powder or dust. Plus, the instruction says that you have to have a little bit of a dampness on the old grout before you apply the new one. I guess it's for adhesion, I'm not sure. So, we pull out the vacuum, get rid of all of this stuff, and then I'll be ready to grout. So what I have is like a grouting sponge, and all I'm doing really is just go over my surface right here to remove whatever dust I have, and it's going to give a little bit of dampness to the former grout that's still there. Just doing circular motion. You don't have to saturate it with water. You just want to, kind of like buff it off and remove whatever excess dust you have. But I vacuumed the wall too, so I shouldn't have a lot. So grouting is really not something that I know how to do very well. I basically have this grouting spatula, whatever they call it. You put the grout over it and basically you go at a 45-degree angle and push the grout like this inside your tile. Then you go over it again at a 90-degree angle. Basically what you want to do is just saturate the groove with the grout. So now don't worry if the grout is going to look sandy or with a texture, because what happens is that when you go over with the sponge is going to smooth it out. And this one grout that's ready to use, once I'm done with that wall, I can go ahead with the sponge and kind of clean off the excess that's actually on the tiles. And after 4 hours, once it's dry, what you end up doing is buffing the tiles out, but you got to remove most of the excess. So I'm just going over, making sure that my grooves are filled. I kind of want to have an even look. You don't want to have like grooves that are really filled up and some that are not. So it's not that easy to do, I got to admit. Again, this is not something that I'm very good at. And it's creating a mess at the bottom of the tub too, but I'm just pushing the grout inside my joints, in particular at the crisscross right here. I'm just working small areas at a time. You don't want to go and do the entire wall and then have to go back. So I'm just doing small areas, pushing my grout inside. Don't go with your fingers, try to push it in or, remove excess or even it out or anything like that. You don't want to do that. And if you have excess, like it's going over the tile or whatever, that stuff can be removed with the sponge and the water at a later time, once you're ready to clean it up. re-grouting is done, and lesson learned, wear gloves. Wear gloves. I'm sure it's gonna come off. So I didn't really do the top here because this is all white grout. Plus it's hard to reach, so I did the one over here. This one you saw me do. I made sure I got all the joints here at the bottom, and then the one where I had a gap over there, so that's gonna get all polished now. I've got to use the sponge. Where is it? Right here, this sponge, and I gotta get a focus. Yeah, I gotta get a bucket because you gotta dip the sponge in the water, and then you gotta go in circular motion and basically get rid of all the extra grout. It's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a dirty work, but I'd rather rinse my sponge in a bucket rather than doing it out of the tub because I'm standing in there. So this is going to be hard work because you gotta remove everything. You can use this side, which got a little bit more of a grit. And then if you have corners that are, overlapping with the grout, you just go and, kind of scrape off that area that's going over, but for the most part I did a good job. So let me just do this best I can. This is an all-day job, you guys. This is not like I'm gonna be able to do the caulking after this. It's gonna pretty much consist of me scraping the stuff off one tile at a time. It's gonna take at least 2 hours to do this. So once that's done, that would be it for me for the day, because that was very, very hard to do. Like I said earlier, grouting is not something that I do well. I think I did an okay job. It's not great, it's not super even, but then again, it would probably look better if there was no grout previously. Like I scraped as much as I could. But the reality is that technically when you do this, you're supposed to have no grout at all. So that way the grout gets in and it's nice and even. This one is basically sitting over the old one. As much as I grooved it with the scraper, it's still not gonna be perfect. So what you wanna do is just go like this on the joints and try to smooth it out as much as you can. Let me see if I can give you a close-up. Right, so this is the part where I haven't cleaned off yet, and this is what it looks like once you cleaned it off. So, and it's still not cleaned off perfectly. So this is my new grout. It looks white. It's not the bright white they said it would be. I would want something that pops out a little bit more, but you know what? It's better than yellow and mold. Yeah, so I'll take it. It's better than what I had before. It was just a lot of work, seriously, a lot of work. This job is a dud for me. It's too hard and I don't like the result. I don't think it really improves all that much, and it's a pain to remove the grout. I should have just sealed it with that whitener thing and call it a day, like seriously. And I'm still thinking about doing that, to be honest, because this is not the bright white I wanted. It's just too hard for the result. I mean, seriously, it's not, to me, it wasn't worth the effort. I don't know, you tell me what you think down below. I mean, it still is an improvement from what I had before, but really, it's not like so earth-shattering as an improvement that I'm going, wow, I'm glad I did it. I just, like I said, I just don't think it was worth the effort. So now I gotta remove all this stuff, and I'm probably gonna spend 2 hours doing that because I got a lot of grout that's left over. And then in the area over there, on the other side, I have maybe 2 or 3 tiles that need to have more grout on them because they still look gray. So yeah, not happy with this job. Well, folks, I think Sophia's found her limit. I do not know how to grout. This is, I don't even know if it's in focus. I'm so tired. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and to be honest, it makes no difference. What I did was whiten a little bit the grout. It's not staying in focus, I'm sorry. So this is a sorry looking job. I think I would have been better off sticking with plan A. In my overzealous attempt at doing a better job and something that would last long, I ended up putting grout, and then my removing the excess grout caused me to pretty much remove all the grout I put in. So it was a total waste of a day, a complete waste of a day. So that being said, having ruined all my nails and having to go take a bath, this was possibly the worst job I've done on this channel. This was a horrible job. I don't like the result. I don't like the process. I feel ridiculed. This is like a complete failure on my part. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let this stuff dry, and then I'm gonna go with an old t-shirt and I'm just gonna buff off whatever haze, that's what they call it, is on there. And then I can't caulk because the joints at the bottom are wet, so I can do that. So what I'm pretty much gonna do is just like wait and buff this stuff and kind of like give it a little bit of a luster. Not that it's gonna make any difference. And then next weekend we'll return back to plan A, which was to do the sealant that's a bright white, because this ain't white, okay? I'm telling you right now, this what is it, Simple Grout premix in bright white from, I guess the brand is Simple Grout. This stuff is not bright white, okay? If I show you on areas where I really did a good job, it's not all of them, right? It comes out as a light gray. It's not white. It's not white. It's not the white I wanted. I wanted bright white, like you see the squares or the grid first, and then you see the tile. I don't know if you get the point of what I'm saying, but anyway, so this is not bright white and I'm very disappointed. So that's strike 2 on the issue here, that I really didn't get the result I wanted. So I'm very disappointed. I'm very tired. I put a lot of work into this and the result turned out to be less than okay. It's mediocre at best. It's not yeah, it's not good. I'm not happy. I'm just not happy. So go ahead, give me a thumbs down if you want. I prefer you don't, but you can always give me an A for effort, because I think I deserve it. I have spent about 5.5 hours in here and back to square one, whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's why it's called my great challenge. Okay, so this was day 4, which we are going to try to forget as having ever happened. And moving on to day 5, next weekend I'll do the sealant on the grout to make it wider, and then I'll do the caulk and I'll paint the frame right here, and then I'll do the shower curtain rod. And I did buy a tension thing that goes from here to there, but I'm not going to install it yet because the bathtub is not finished. So that was it. Alright, so give me a thumbs up if you liked watching me slave over this bathtub, and subscribe if you're new and you don't want to miss another episode. Again, the before tour is down below and on my channel if you want to check that out. The little corner here is for subscribe, and I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye!